but he had never seen the steady reel. He knew lots of tricks. We sitting on about 10 or 12 on a ledge. He's shaking and baking, son. He's up and down. He's swoop gliding. He's deep jerking. I said, they ain't gonna bite? He said, no. I said, let old man step in here and give me a little old minnow shot. You know, that ain't a two-man game. That's like dating. It's a one-man game. You can't two of you throw. I fired my minnow in there, and I just started my spinning reel, and I just slowly reel it. The rod loaded up. He looked at me and said, hang on now. I said, hold up now. You done had your choice. He said, you mean that was it? I said, that's it. I said, don't shake it. It took this kid an hour to be able to cast it without shaking it. He was so processed into shaking it, he couldn't stop shaking it. And I said, that's exactly why I'm telling you to do it, because 99% of the fishermen that's in front of you can't stop shaking it. We feel like we got to do something with it. We feel like, well, let's just, yeah, I was guilty. Oh, I wanted my minnow to woo. You can get too many woo-hoos down there. It don't look real. I mean, think about it. If you a crawfish and you swim up on a rock, you tap dance, you got a tambourine, you sitting real lethargic like, hey, where's everybody at? It's a very methodical movement. I said, sometimes we make the bait look so fake, it don't matter what kind of minnow it is. So then they talk about, if you want to get inside that bait on pressure lakes, they're going to talk about, does your bait roll, does it twist? Don't get so caught up into that you think you're doing something wrong. The biggest thing I've learned on pressure lakes, forward-facing sonar, is it's real easy for me and Neil Paul not to be catching them and start talking ourselves into we just doing something wrong. You ain't doing nothing wrong. You don't get caught up in that. You're just making a cast. Most of them guys ain't doing anything any different than you. I want you to work on your presentation. Whether it's a slow reel, slow fall, 90% of the time, the slower the fall, the better. It's more natural. How many of you ever think to throw a fluke when the fish is sitting in 40 foot of water over 100? Would a fluke be your first thing to throw? They'll slap choke it if you got the patience to let it get there. You talking about, you'll scratch a hole in the back of them pants waiting on it to get down there. But I promise you, when he sees it above him, it's like you lit him on fire. Because ain't another minnow today fell like that minnow. So we think about that. You just become the bait. You know how hard it is to do that? It kills me. Like when I throw it out there, like I want to put my rod down. I done putting on chapstick. I'm sitting there watching. But it's so methodical and it's so natural they can't stand it because everything in front of them is shook. So what I'm paying attention to now when I go to pressure lakes is competitors in front of me presentations, locals' favorite presentation, and how can I adjust mine inside of that to beat you?